What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're getting into my Week 3 NFL predictions. Let's dive into how I did in Week 2 here. Starting out with the first game of the day, on Thursday Night Football. We had the Eagles taking on the Vikings, and the Eagles were the better team in this one, turning over the Vikings a decent amount in this football game. The Eagles get the job done. Good win from them. And then we had the Packers versus the Falcons. Very disappointing loss if you're Green Bay. You had the lead, couldn't get the job done. I was expecting the Packers to come out on top in that one. That's a frustrating loss for Jordan Love and his team, but still a good Packers team and a good win by Atlanta to come back for them. Then we had the Bengals losing to the Ravens. I was expecting this team to get a little bit going here in this game by the offense. The offense wasn't that great, to be honest. They did put up 24 points on the board, but that's just not enough to beat the Ravens, and the Ravens got the job done. All right, and then the Chargers versus the Titans. Another frustrating loss here for me. Man, the Chargers just defensively against a not the best Titans offense in the league just got torched. And Justin Herbert couldn't get the win, unfortunately, for Los Angeles. So the Chargers fall to 0-2. That is a very frustrating loss for that team. Buccaneers, I did get that one right over the Bears, so that's good. Tampa Bay was the better team in that one. The Bills did beat the Raiders, just dominated that one, so I got that one right. I did pick the Lions over the Seahawks. Gosh dang it, I should have trusted my Seattle Seahawks, but I didn't. The tackles for Seattle played a lot better than I was expecting in that one. The Lions' pass rush just wasn't enough in that one. Just really non-existent. I did pick the Chiefs over the Jaguars, correct? Slug it out style game, surprisingly there. Did pick an upset over the Texans over the Colts. I did not pick right in that one at all. The Texans lost that one, unfortunately. Did pick the Niners over the Rams. And this was my lock of the week, so we got that one right for the Niners. Giants, the Rams did play decent in that game, though. Did pick the Giants over the Cardinals. Not the most impressive win by the Giants. They were down big, but somehow were able to come back and pull off the win. Not looking good, though, for Saquon Barkley next week. All right, and then we had the Cowboys beat the Jets, just dominated them with Zach Wilson struggling. And I'm really shocked by this one, to be honest, with a lot of people. The Broncos lose to the Commanders. Broncos were up 21-3, man. I was expecting them to win this game at home. This is frustrating for any Broncos fan. I'm a Russell Wilson believer, but tough loss for sure. I mean, this team should have finished it off on offensively and defensively. They need to be better than that. All right, and then the Miami Dolphins beat the Patriots in that one. Got that one right. Did pick the Panthers upset in that one, but that offense has just been non-existent through the first 2 weeks, and the Saints win it on Monday Night Football. And then I did pick the Steelers over the Browns, correct, for one of my upsets. Steelers get a big-time win. All right, Week 3 time now. Let's start out here with the Niners versus the Giants. This could be another primetime blowout type game. I still believe in Brian Daboll. Or by the way, before we get into this one, I did finish 9-7 last week. That was my total. So 17-15 on the year. That's not what I was expecting. A lot better start last season. So 8-8 in week 1, 9-7 in week 2. That's just average. I need to be better than that. Let's hope we can get some more right. But anyway, getting back to this one, I'm going to go Niners in this one. I can't see the Giants pulling off the win here. Just the way they've been playing. You know, they just barely beat the Cardinals, who are arguably the worst team in the league. And they got crushed by the Cowboys. And the Niners are definitely not far off from the Cowboys. If not, they're better than Dallas. So Brock Purdy and the Niners, I do think that they can get the win there. All right, Browns versus Titans. Interesting one here. Nick Chubb out for the season. That's a big injury for the Browns, and I think it might hurt them in this game. You know, the Titans' defense hasn't been as good as I might maybe thought, but they played well against the Saints, just not the best against the Chargers, but that's against a good Justin Herbert team. I do trust the Browns defense a little bit more than the Titans defense, even with Nick Chubb out. I think the Browns can win this one at home. Tough environment game. But I would not be surprised if the Titans come out in this one and get the win because Deshaun Watson's not looked great. Let's just put it lightly. Has not looked great through the first 2 weeks of the season. And Ryan Tannehill played a lot better last week. So I could very much see the Titans pulling off this win, but I am going to go with the Browns. I think that defense is just so dominant. And if this offense could just figure some things out this week, they should be fine. But it's going to be tough without Chubb, obviously. All right, then the Lions versus the Falcons. Another interesting matchup here. Falcons have started out this season undefeated. They're going to be running all over the Lions here today, but the Lions' run defense has been just average, really, to start up the year. The pass rush has got to be better. At home, this Lions team is very solid. I do think that they can get this win here. I could see the Falcons, well-coached team, come out, pull off another crazy win with Bijan Robinson playing insane, but I'm going to go with the Lions in this one. All right, Packers versus Saints now. Excited for this one. It's Green Bay's home opener. The Saints have started the year 2-0. Hats off to them. They played pretty good football. I've gotten the Saints pick wrong each time. Am I going to pick against the Saints again here? I think I am, to be honest with Saints fans. I'm going to go Packers. Call this an upset if you will, but I think this is a pretty split game. Sorry. Because, of course, you see the Packers, 48% of people think the Packers are going to win. But Jordan Love's looked pretty good to start the year. The Saints, the Packers' really soft spot on this defense is that run defense. But the Saints are missing Jamal Adams. The O-line isn't the best. So I think that the Packers are going to be just fine on defense. I think this matchup favors Green Bay. But, again, this one, split for a reason. But I'm going to go with the Packers here in this one to get the win. All right, you could just see all home games so far. No road upsets. And here we go. We have the Denver Broncos and the Miami Dolphins. Just about everyone is counting out Russell Wilson and the Broncos. I have made it evident that I'm a believer in this Denver Broncos team. And this is a must-win. They really need to win this one. They can't fall to 0-3. That would be very bad to start up the year. And it's going to be tough against Miami Dolphins team who's played very good. But if Russell Wilson and this Broncos team can put together a full game of good football, they need to do that. Have they proven that yet? They have not. I really want to pick Russell Wilson and the Broncos in this one. But the Miami Dolphins are a top contender, and this one's being played at Miami. I need to see the Denver Broncos come out in a football game, play 4 halves of good offense. I need to see Russell Wilson do that, and I need to see this defense be better. I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I really want to stick to my guns and pick the Broncos, but this is a tough game. I don't see the Broncos pulling off this one. So Miami, I think, can get the win, but I would not be surprised at all if this one's close because the Broncos have been very close to winning both of their games to start of the year. A few things go right for them. They are 2-0 right now. So, don't count out Denver in this one. I'm just going to say that I would not be surprised if the Broncos come out in this one and pull off the upset. All right, Vikings, Chargers. Another interesting game here because both these teams come into this one desperate for victories. The Chargers, Justin Herbert, and this team, they really need to get this offense going. This defense. Staley really needs to figure things out on that defense because they've been bad. He is on a hot seat right now. An 0-3 start is just insanely bad for the Chargers. They cannot have that. Same goes with the Vikings. An 0-3 start for Minnesota. That is rough for them as well. They need this game as much as the Chargers. I think this one's going to be a shootout. And the Vikings, the difference I think that's going to be in this game is the Vikings have very much struggled in turnovers in the first two games. If they can clean that up, I can see the Vikings pulling off this win. But Justin Herbert and the Chargers, I think, have the better offense. I think they should win this one. I'm counting the Chargers again here, giving them the benefit of the doubt against the Vikings. But I would not be surprised if Minnesota pulls off this win. But this is kind of my upset, another upset here this week. All right, next up we have the Patriots versus the Jets, a 1-1 team versus a 0-2 team. And the Jets defense honestly wasn't the best last week, but they didn't get any help from the Jets offense, which was even worse last week. The Patriots have been a sneaky good 0-2 team. I think besides the Broncos, this team is probably the best the Chargers are up there. Besides the Broncos, I think this team's had the most unfortunate 2 losses to start at the season. That they're very close to winning these 2 past games and, extending the game, but I'm going to give this one to New England here. I just don't trust the Jets at this point on in the season. I don't think a Bill Belichick team is just going to lie down and fall to 1-2. So I'm going to give this one, or 0-3, sorry. So I'm going to give this one to the Patriots. I think they've been a pretty solid team to start out the year. We just need to see this team get a win. And Mac Jones hasn't been the worst quarterback yet. So moving on, we have the Commanders versus the Bills. Commanders really solid start to this season, 2-0. Sam Howell's playing good football. And this defense has been inconsistent to start of the year. You can't really have consistency if this Bills offense is on. But again, the Bills offense hasn't been consistent either. So, do we see a bad performance from the Bills offense? Maybe. But I am going to give this one to the Buffalo Bills. I just don't see the 2-0 Commanders going to 3-0 and the Bills falling to 1-2. That just, in my head, just does not make sense. So I'm going to give that one to the Bills. All right, Jaguars-Texans. Now, Texans are arguably the worst team in the league. The Jaguars, this is a perfect bounce-back game for them. I think they should be able to win this one. Pretty straightforward. They need to get their red zone efficiency figured out after last week. That Chiefs defense shut them down there. And they should be able to against a Texans team who's clearly just lacking talent. Down here, we have the Ravens versus the Colts. Ravens really starting out this season pretty solid. The Colts, I would say, you're happy with how this season has started out with Anthony Richardson's play. I did see that Richardson was injured. Is he out for this game? Let me see. Let's see. It says it remains unclear. I don't think it's going to make an impact, though. That Ravens defense is top-notch. At home, out in Baltimore, that's just going to be too difficult. So I'm going to give that one to the Ravens. A lot of people counting out the Panthers in this one. I don't like that as a Seahawks fan. This Panthers team beat us last week by running the football efficiently. Last year. And the Panthers always seem to play us close. So I don't like it how it's 95% Seattle, 5% Carolina. Yeah. Bryce Young and this Panthers offense, though, I can see it. They have very much struggled this year. I'm going to roll with my Seahawks. At home, I think that they can get the revenge from last season. And even with that good Panthers defense, I don't think it's going to be enough. But I'll just say I am hesitant by this one. I could see the Panthers pulling off our upset, but got to roll with my Hawks after last week. Can't pick them wrong again. Chiefs, Bears now. I'm going Chiefs. The Chiefs defense is going to play well against Justin Fields and this Bears offense. And, the Patrick Mahomes, I think he's going to have a big week. He's going to torch up the Bears defense, which is horrible. So I'm giving this one to Kansas City. In Arrowhead, that's just going to be too difficult. So the Chiefs should win that one. Cowboys, Cardinals, give me Dallas. Don't see the Cardinals coming out, beating the Cowboys after what we've seen to start out this season. The Cowboys should dominate the Cardinals, but Yeah, I don't see them. The Cardinals pulling off that win. And then we have the Steelers versus the Raiders, a split game here. This is an interesting one. The Raiders offense has been pretty good here. Um, Pretty good in week 1, not good week 2 though. And they're going up against another tough Steelers defense. But the Steelers offense has just been bad too. They scored 26 points last week, but 14 of those came from the defense on pick sixes and scoop and score. So it's been a very underwhelming start for this offense, which I thought was going to take some big steps to start out the year. But I'm going to give this one to the Steelers. Yeah. I just think Mike Tomlin's team's better well coached here. And the Raiders just have struggled on defense, especially to start out the last week and on offense. Last week was a bad week. But I think the Steelers are the better team. And in a split game here, that should be enough to get the win. All right, Eagles, Buccaneers, a battle of 2-0 teams on Monday Night Football. Was not expecting that looking at this matchup earlier on in the year. But Eagles are the better team. Even if it's being played in Tampa Bay, I just can't see the Buccaneers really pulling off this win. The Eagles are the better team. They should win this one. We all know that Jalen Hurts probably going to play really well against this Buccaneers defense. So, the Bucs have had a good start to the year, but now they're playing a juggernaut, not the Vikings and the Bears. So, the Eagles, better team, should get this win here. All right, Bengals versus the Rams. Monday Night Football game. This Bengals offense has got to be better, man. It's just been a struggle, and the defense hasn't lived up to my expectations either. This is my Super Bowl team. Joe Burrow's got to figure some things out, and the Rams have very much exceeded my expectations this year so far. Puka Nacua playing excellent at the receiver. Matthew Stafford slinging the football well. This O-line's playing much better than I thought as well. I could very much see the Rams pulling off the upset if the Bengals continue to play like this, but I just can't see the Bengals continue with this. I mean, historically, Joe Burrow's kind of struggled to start out the years, so that could be what's going on here. Maybe he can pick some things up here, but yeah, I'm going to give this one to Cincinnati. So those are all my picks, 16 games. So now I got to pick a lock of the week. Didn't really say that one. That's got to be... It's either going to be the Cowboys or the Chiefs one, I think. I think I'm going to go with because the Chiefs have been a little bit inconsistent and the Bears do have some weapons there, I'm going to give that one to the Cowboys as a lock. So, yeah, trusting the Dallas Cowboys to pull out for me. But anyway, guys, thank you all for watching this video today. Hope you all enjoyed the content. Comment down below your predictions. We need a big week here in our predictions. But anyway,